Hey everybody, Chuck Fosberg here from Next Home, and today we've got Steve Kelly with us from All Western Mortgage, and he's going to help us understand what's going on in the mortgage market right now. There's been a lot of information in the news, and some of it's true, but most of it really isn't. So we're going to interview Steve today and get to the bottom of this. So good afternoon, Steve. How are you today? And thank you for joining us.
Great, Chuck. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Well, what about the people who already are in a home, would like to move, but maybe they're thinking, maybe I need to wait a year before I can even move from the house that I already have a mortgage on? What would you say to those folks?
You know, I'll be very honest. I'm on the fence with that, okay? Because I do know that, first of all, we've had inflation. Now, last year I was on a talk show and I was telling everybody rates are going to go up, rates are going to go up, inflation's kicking in, rates are going to go up. And that's really inflation's our enemy when on the mortgage side, right? Our rates have gone up drastically. You've seen that. But the Fed has been increasing their rate, right? And those rates are not directly tied to mortgage rates, they're indirectly tied to mortgage rates. We're tied to the bond market, okay? And so they're actually trying to stave off inflation. And because they've jacked up their rates so much, and we're going to start going into a recession. We already are a little bit, but we're going to be going into a deeper recession. And as we do, our rates are going to go down. All right. If you'll never notice, after 9/11, after the housing crash in 2008, after COVID, right, or just after COVID hit us, and all our rates plummeted. I'm sorry, but my industry, bad news, makes our rates go down, and we can help a lot more people. We're going to see that now with the recession coming in. We're going to see the rates go back down. We're expecting rates to be in the fives, maybe even a little lower in the next 6 to 8 months, maybe a little later than that.
Well, that's a really interesting point, because most folks assume that mortgage rates are tied directly to the prime rate, and that, like you said, as inflation goes up, the prime rate goes up, but yet mortgage is going to go down.
Yeah, and I mean, now the prime rate is tied to some things like home equity line of credit, right? So then you'll see some of your rates go up there. Mm-hmm. But the Fed is doing this to create a way to get control of inflation. Now, they kind of waited a little too long to do this. We were all kind of screaming for them to do it a little earlier. They waited a little too long, a little knee-jerk reaction. Now that they've done it, and they're going to do it you're going to see a couple more hikes. And as they do that, they're going to tip us right into a deeper recession than what we're already in. And when that happens, we're going to see our rates go down. You're going to see a lot of people pulling money out of stocks and putting them into bonds. When they put them in the bonds, the price of bonds go up and their yields go down. And when their yields go down, so do our mortgage rates.
Very interesting. Well, it seems to me that rather than listening to the news, people should be calling you to find out what the truth is, and it doesn't cost anything to talk.
It doesn't. I'll give you your free advice anytime, and good, bad, or ugly, I'll let you know where you stand and what's going on, and to the best of my knowledge.
Steve, thank you so much for speaking with us today. It was awesome, and we really appreciate the benefit of your 30 years of experience as a mortgage loan officer, and thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Now, just in case people want to get hold of you, how can people get a hold of you, Steve?
Well, Chuck, first of all, I really appreciate it too. Thank you. And the best way to reach me is on my cell. I mean, I know there's a lot of different ways. Best way is on my cell, 727-415-1842. You can text me, call me, evenings, weekends. In fact, I do a lot on evenings, weekends, because that's when people aren't working. That's when they're best time. So 727-415-1842. You can email me. A lot of people like to email. S for Steve, S Kelly, Kelly, at allwestern.com. So S Kelly at allwestern.com. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on all the social media. So, I mean, there's a million ways to catch us now. Just pick up the phone, it's free, give me a shout, and let's go over what you got, and I'll do everything I can to help.
That sounds really great. Thank you again, Steve. Really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Chuck. I really appreciate it.